How do you like Microsoft's future boutique? So we're here at Ad Week, Monday, the busiest day of the week, as you can see behind us. Jillian, have you had a chance to go to any sessions yet, or have you been playing hooky and like?
I've been playing a little bit of hooky, walking around. There are a lot of celebrities hanging out today, a lot of good companies represented. A few sessions I want to see, a lot of the AI for good, I found educational sessions on career development. Still a lot of really great ones out there today.
Yeah, and we did see some special people, I guess, behind the scenes. Rhymes with Stone. Oh wait, that is Stone. Yeah.
Too much. No, we did see a few celebrities, and we were in the green room. We were pretty close, almost the same thing.
Yeah. So make sure you keep tuned in. We'll be here the next 2 days here at Advertising Week New York. Welcome to another episode of Future Boutique. We are broadcasting all this week from New York City, the 15th annual Advertising Week, bringing you all the action. I'm Jeffrey Colon, your host, and I'm joined by my Microsoft colleague and co-host, Jillian Lax. Jillian, great to have you on board.
Great to be here. I'm excited.
Now, I know that you weren't able to attend Cannes, and we did some great episodes there. Hopefully, we can get you to make sure join us that period next summer, possibly.
I mean, you said that last year, and I kept waiting and didn't really pan out. But thank you for letting me come 20 minutes down the street to join you here by a step and repeat today. Not an ocean for the backdrop. Got France. I was able to watch you in France with the ocean backdrop on Future Boutique, and that was nice. So thanks for sending me the links while I was sitting in the office without a window to watch them. That was nice. So thank you. I'm very happy to be here today.
Now, Advertising Week's in its 15th year.
It is.
It's very meaningful to the industry. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to checking out this week?
All things experiential marketing are really exciting, all things AI, a lot of the things on career development. My big goal is going to be CMO by tomorrow, so today I'm really going to lock that down, and I think I'm going to get that in these sessions.
Awesome, and of course there's a lot of celebrities here. Yeah. We are going to try to speak to some of them. What, who have you seen so far?
We're going to go see Emma Stone. We're going to find Emma Stone.
Interesting.
We're going to track Emma Stone down, and we're going to chat with her.
All right.
We're going to find where she's hiding. We're going to chat with her in a non-creepy way. We want to. I've heard that she's a fan of Future Boutique. Maybe she will be.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, one other area of disruption is that of career development. And we were able to sit down with CEO of Wavemaker, Amanda Richmond, earlier today. Let's take a look. All right, we're here with Amanda Richmond, CEO of Wavemaker. Now, you're going to be talking about how to basically navigate your career. And I wanted to ask you a question because you've been in the industry for a really long time. There's a lot of talk about marketing disruption, but not a lot of people talk about disruption in terms of career development.
True.
What would you tell yourself if you were 24 again?
It's the journey, not the destination. If you're very linear and you think about your career and levels of advancement and steps and hard goals, and in your mind at 24 you think, here's where I'm going to be in 20 years, prepare to be blown away and maybe blown out as well. You have to stay relevant. And I'd say a certain humility too, to acknowledge that you're not going to master anything in this space. It's constantly evolving. Stay nimble, surround yourself with really smart people that you can constantly be learning from, and your career is going to take some really interesting twists and turns. You're going to enjoy the ride.
How would you tell someone who's starting in search marketing today to prepare for this world? Because it obviously has changed so much in the last 20 years. What are some of the technical skills that you would say are relevant in that area?
I would say first to step back and reframe it around precision marketing instead of search. Folks coming up from the ranks through search have this great understanding around consumer intent. They understand how to optimize against certain signals. If they broaden that beyond the digital world too, to think about what insights they're seeing that they then act on, that they could bring earlier into the strategy and planning process, how they think holistically across now addressable television and other formats, and obviously within search itself, voice and other means to actually get to that consumer intent and pay it off for brands. It's a tremendous skill set and opportunity for them to really reframe from search expertise to broader precision marketing experts.
Amanda, thanks for joining us here on Future Boutique.
Thank you. Have a great ad week.
Yeah, thanks,
Fun time.
Amanda.
Exactly.
Always
Thank
love
you.
it.
Always
Yes,
great to have you.
yes.
Welcome to New York City, the Big Apple, the concrete jungle where dreams are made, and the epicenter of the worldwide advertising industry. And every year since 2004, New York has served as the home base for Advertising Week, a global gathering of professionals in marketing, advertising, media, and technology.
Now, to give you some perspective on how much the world has changed since this event launched in 2004. Back then, we were socializing on MySpace. The infant Facebook was only available on a few college campuses. iTunes was brand new. The iPhone? Only a gleam in Steve Jobs' eye. And we were learning to text on our flip phones.
Celebrating its 15th year, Advertising Week is the nerve center for what all this change means for commerce. Featuring workshops led by some of the top minds in the industry, to sizzling nighttime events all over Gotham. This is where trends are forecast, science is dropped, and imaginations are fired. This is Advertising Week.
My name is Bobby Jones, and I'm the co-author of Good is the New Cool. In my work as Good is the New Cool, I'm able to essentially help marketers and entrepreneurs and creators to use their talents and resources for a greater good. My co-author and I worked together for years. He was on the brand side working at Heineken, and I was on the agency side. We were really starving for something that was more meaningful. The work that we were doing was really cool, it was interesting, but it didn't feel purposeful. And we were both really inspired by this idea that marketing could be more than that. What if marketing was a tool to solve things? Instead of just grow business and optimize profits, what if it could optimize people's lives? It was with that we started to really explore this idea of the book, Good is the New Cool. And so we went on this amazing journey, we finished the book, and we've been able to be on this wonderful journey where we get to travel the world and connect with people and help them, and to see the impact that the book has made on their lives and the impact that their work is making in the lives of communities around the world, which has been extremely fulfilling and inspiring. And in a lot of ways, I feel like we're just getting started on this journey.
And here he is, Bobby Jones, co-author of the book, Good is the New Cool. We're really happy to have you here on Future Boutique for our coverage at Advertising Week. How are you?
I'm great. It was great to be here. I'm super excited to be here with you. I love what you guys are doing, and yeah, let's dive into it, man.
So, the book, it came out in 2016, starting to pick up steam now, and we were talking off camera.
Yeah.
I mean, why should brands be doing this? You know, is this novelty? What's the importance of doing good in the world in terms of being a brand, and what do brands gain from this?
Yeah, so we wrote the book because we were really excited about this shift that was happening, that was making this idea of doing good and making money. It always felt as though there was this kind of false choice that brands and businesses need to make, right? So you had part of the company that was focused on making money, and then you had the part of the CSR and like the HR groups that were focused on community service and donating dollars or what have you. But the idea that the business and marketing and sales side and the parts of the business that are really focused on making positive contributions to the community, that they could be really integrated, and the fact that you could make money and do good at the same time, and the fact that doing good was actually something that actually increased the appeal of your business and brands to people, was something we were really excited about. Because for a lot of us that were in marketing, who wanted to use marketing and business as a force for good. It was like this exciting shift that allows for us to make the business case for it. And I think that brands are beginning to understand that you don't have to choose. You can make money, you can do good, and you can do it in really cool and interesting and innovative ways. And so we've been on this, amazing journey to kind of help build this movement of marketers and brands and culture creators and citizens who are all looking at business and culture as being forces for good, and really trying to use good as the new cool as a tool to help them to be successful in that.
Now, what do you say to brands who might say, oh, this is hard for us to do, or we can't put this into action? Like, what's one takeaway that you tell them to do so this seeps into their culture more, that it doesn't become a check the box in terms of inclusive marketing, but it becomes part of their culture? What's one thing that brands can do right now?
Yeah, the theme of a lot of the conversation here is about being uncomfortable, right? So that's part of what this is, and I think part of that work that needs to happen is starting with a real clear sense of purpose. Like, why does the organization exist? What's the higher purpose of the organization, simply beyond just making profit? And I think if you get clear about why the organization exists, the role that it wants to play in the world and in people's lives, then you start to find a really rich territory to begin to actually deliver on that purpose and that promise. And so the advice that I give to brands, and that Abdul and I give, is, be clear on what your purpose is, be clear on your why, and start where you are with what you have and who you have. This is not it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And it's really about organizations really beginning to evolve the way they think, the way that they operate, the way that they develop their products, the way that they hire, the way that, all of these different things are part of this. And you're not going to solve these things overnight, but every organization, I think, has what it needs to get started. And I think that's the most important thing. And it's good to just get started, start with your purpose, and then begin to think about what are the things that we can do to begin to become more closely aligned with that purpose in ways that really solve problems in people's lives and add value to the world.
I love it. I think everybody needs to read the book, Good is the New Cool, and we need to get you back on another episode of Future Boutique, but thanks for joining us here
Let's
today.
do it, man.
All right.
Great to see you, man. Thanks for having me.
Our continuing coverage of Future Boutique here at Advertising Week New York, the 15th annual Advertising Week. Jillian, Bobby Jones, he's a cool guy. This whole movement's
so
really
cool.
interesting.
He's so cool. I mean, his whole concept is fabulous, because you ever say to yourself, I'm just so sick of just earning so much money all day, every single day. I'd love to do a little bit more. And he's found a way to do that. Take your talents for what you're already earning money for and putting it to the better good and making the world a better place, which is an amazing thing to do.
What are some things that Microsoft does that, falls in line with social good?
Mm-hmm. Microsoft is really good about it. It's fabulous examples. We have the month of October for our Give campaign, and while we focus on giving and doing charitable things year round, we definitely put a focus. So, I know in the month of October, I go to my dog charity, I play with my dogs, and they give $25 an hour to those dogs. And we've done some really great campaigns where we have an event called Bing's Giving, and we have our clients come to the event. They bring donated items, canned goods, food, clothing, all items they can bring, and then they get raffle tickets, and they take those raffle tickets to win a donation to their favorite charity. So we definitely like to bring that focus of charity and giving and bring it to our events. So it's not just parties, it's showing what you care about and making other people aware that that's part of you.
It's an important part of the culture, and it's something I think Satya Nadella, the CEO, is driving quite a bit. And we see that a lot in our advertising now. And one person we actually sat down with earlier is the head of global advertising, Kathleen Hall. Let's take a look. And we're joined here by Kathleen Hall, Corporate Vice President of Global Advertising for Microsoft. How are you, Kathleen?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
So D&I you've been talking about it forever. You've been bringing it to life at Microsoft. What's a big thing that you are still preaching to the masses at a lot of these sort of get-togethers?
You know, it's funny, if there's one industry that's worse than the technology industry in representation, it's the ad industry. And it's an industry I've been part of for 35 years, and it frustrates the hell out of me, right? It should have gotten better by now. So what we're really trying to do is inject some more energy back into the conversation, but also simplify it a little bit, because, you know, D&I is like this boil of the ocean. How do I change it? Is it about recruiting? Is it about numbers? Is it about rewards? Is it about promotions? And you get like caught up in all that. So what we try to do is just strip down what we were trying to accomplish, at least with our agencies, see if we can come up with a formula that works, that then we could replicate through the holding company so that it would be meaningful impact. You know, in the old days, it would be like, oh, can I run a few pages with Black Enterprise and get a salesperson hired? And then the minute you didn't run with Black Enterprise anymore, you didn't meaningfully change the industry. I don't want to do that. I want mainstream to become diversified.
Yeah.
So that's why we really are focusing on our holding company partners. And I think we have a great case study to share with the industry.
What is some of that case study? Please share that with us.
So basically what it was is we said, look, we got to at least, like anything on Microsoft, if you don't track it, it doesn't change. So what can we do that's super simple? And one of the pitfalls is I don't want a bunch of administrative entry-level, you know, sort of fake hires that inflate numbers. So we created a very simple 4-grid system. Executive down to entry level, and across women, people of color, Black, African American, Hispanic, and other. And multiracial is a huge designation now. And all we said to our teams is there's no incentive, there's no punishment, there's no nothing, but you care about this, we care about it. Let's keep track of it in an intent to change it. And what we saw in a 1-year period, we had double-digit impact on both our diversity numbers and our women numbers. It was phenomenal. And then on top of that, at the executive level, we had a 20-point differential, which in the creative world, as you might guess, is significant. So it really was meaningful. And now we're at year 3, and that trend has continued. We just came off a panel where we showed the industry norm and where we are as an account with our agency partners, and it's exponentially different.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, I don't want to say the term forcing, but, you know, working with agencies to say, hey, we want more women represented on the advertisements that we actually shoot in terms of positions.
Yeah.
You know, how's that worked out
Well,
so
it's interesting.
far?
The first thing that happened was I had a couple of meetings with McCann, IPG, and I said, if you come to another meeting with a 6-pack of white men, I'm not coming. So we got to change this. And they committed to changing it. So we have one of the few and only, I think, all ECD, female ACD teams in the industry. And then they attract other women like them. But then the important thing is not just about the end game of the composition changing, but the impact it has on the work. That team then created 2 years in a row Silver Can Lion, Glass Lion award-winning work because of that perspective that they bring. And because of that, of course, it had impact on Microsoft's business and perception, so it was through the line. And I think that's kind of the balance between diversity is getting the number, right? Getting the I'm different. Inclusion is I matter. And then the end to me as a business person is, and I had impact. Because then they feel good about where they are. So that's kind of the cycle. And there's, you know, that's one example. You know, another example on the media side is we saw a meaningful difference in people of color on the media side. And we saw integrations come to light, like the Blackish integration. I don't know if you're aware of it, but basically the shtick on the show, the shtick on the show is it's an ad agency. Well, we became the client. And we were the sort of the fake client. Well, that integration was seamless and really meaningful, and it helps change perspectives of Microsoft, but also made the people of color working on that business feel good. So that's the kind of stuff that we've seen impact across the board.
Love it. I love the impact you're bringing, Kathleen. Kathleen Hall, Corporate Vice President of Microsoft Global Advertising. Thanks for joining us on Future
Thanks
Boutique.
for having me.
That's going to do it for day 1 of Advertising Week New York City here on Future Boutique. Jillian, where can everyone find us while they're not watching?
They can definitely find us on the Bing Ads Instagram account and with the hashtag Bing Ads. And with the hashtag AW New York. And with the hashtag Microsoft. All of them.
And what are we going to do tomorrow?
We're going to find a celebrity. All the celebrities. Or one. I'll take one. One's cool.
That'll do it. Thanks, everyone.